Cypher in the Cellar. We want to welcome y'all. I'm your host, Dots.
You already know, Buddy Calhoun, Social Life Promotions, Cypher in the Cellar fans. Let's get it.
Today we got John and Ray from 734 Kicks.
Let's go.
Let's give them down. Let's go.
So gifted. I'm the type that's gon' go get it. No kidding. Breaking down the switch in front of your building. Sitting on the steps feeling no feelings. Last night it was a cold killing. Gotta keep the devil in his hole, nigga.
Oh, yeah.
But you know how it goes.
Surprising couple.
All right, so 734 Kicks. Tell us a little bit about where the name came from and tell us a little bit about what you guys are about.
All right, so for me, back in 2017, my pops passed away, rest in peace, David Mina. And I was handling that grief in like a fucked up manner. And I picked up this thing called retail therapy. I was just buying Jordans to left and right. And I didn't realize at the point that that's how I was coping with the pain.
Right.
But I realized that shit wasn't sustainable. So I was about like 12 months in. And I spent like thousands. We're talking like the Cactus Jack 4s, the 11s. Like, I was just like,
so you was getting the big boy.
I was getting pictures from this man every day of a new pair of shoes he bought.
and I was just like, all right, this isn't sustainable. So like, I started the resale avenue. So I would like cop sneakers and then try to flip them. Now the resale avenue is a pain. It's a grind, but it's a pain. People make money, but it's not as easy as it sounds. Like, because you got to think about it. You have to sell on a platform. That platform's going to charge you money, and so they're going to take off the top. So breaking even is not easy.
Right.
And so you're spending $200 to $250 on a pair of Jordans, Yeezys, whatever, and those fees usually eat that up on eBay, on StockX, on Gold, wherever these places are. So I was like, all right, this still isn't sustainable. And now the sneakers that make real big bank, if anyone could get them, they won't be worth the bank. So like you're thinking about what's the big? Some Yeezy just came out. The inertias that just came out. Those joints Kanye probably only made like 30,000 pairs worldwide. Right. To get in the queue in the line for that, it's just like good luck. Yeah. So like you could have made $200-300 on the resale, but like I said, if everyone could do it, they would. So I found that was really hard. I wasn't really breaking even on that. So I looked into what can we do next. So I want to be a sneaker retailer. Right. So from there, we're talking about having a sneaker, selling it, getting it at a wholesale price, and moving the inventory. Not worrying about buying it, holding it, and selling it myself. Because right there, that's just a lot of risk going on there, and it's like the stock market, StockX, Go, all that's like the stock market. So like you have to be in that every day. And so like I had another full-time job at the time, and like keeping up with that was tough. So what we did was we linked up with this factory out in Brooklyn called New York Tin Sale, and what they did is they offered us for like a monthly fee access to their warehouse and their inventory. So right now we're all 100% online. Because if you look at how everything's going, we are looking at the future. So like having like a brick and mortar just doesn't appeal to me.
No.
And you look at who we compete with. Like, why would I in Lancaster? Because we're in Lancaster, right? Why would I want to compete with Tanger? Why would I want to compete with Park City? Like, that is something that it's not like it would. I would stress more about that. And on top of that, I get to reach the world. Like I've sold sneakers in Sweden. Like I've sold sneakers in Alabama, Oregon. So like I don't want to limit myself there. Also, looking at my competitors spend $1 billion a quarter on advertising. Right. I'm got $1 billion. So that's kind of where we're at right now, is being online and a retailer of sneakers. To answer your question about where did the 734 come from, what's it called? Right now we're rolling with a little bit of a mystique here. It's just kind of the numbers that we came up with. I answered that question. I'll give you a little snippet here. I answered that question once. I answered it once on a podcast before. It's out there in the world, but you got to go back almost like a year ago. And one of those old hip hop and politics podcasts, but I answered the question once, so we'll kind of have a little bit mystique around it. But yeah, guys, it's pretty much morphing now. It's bigger than sneakers, so I'm sure you guys have seen me on the Facebook kind of transition. I don't want people to think about sneakers anymore when they think about 734. I want them to think about 734 and the culture. And so it's natural that us at CITC linked because of what I'm doing and who I'm working with.
Okay.
Yeah. We're really evolving right now into kind of, I would say, the second phase of our business model. You know, the sneakers have become pretty much secondary, and we're really becoming 734 at this point. And it's really building up this community and using that marketing that we've done really to a global, you know, scope at this point. We're taking the talent that's here in Lancaster and giving them that same exposure we've already built.
You can tell he's not from Lancaster the way he said Lancaster.
Sorry, guys, Baltimore born and raised.
I had to say that. I had to jump at him a little bit.
It's all right.
So tell us how the music culture, how you think, because we all know, but explain to some of the people who may not, how the music culture, the hip hop culture affects the culture of like the clothing and what you wear and what you.
Yeah, no, I'll tell you this much, and a lot of things that, like, especially with African Americans, because this is a very African American dominated form of entertainment, we set the trend in a lot of things. Like, if you go back to the 80s and the 90s, like, just look at, like, I like you because you got to realize I'm 30, so I'm not that old. So you just look like even the Fresh Prince, like Will Smith, what he was doing, and how they really like, or even the Fab Five, because I was alive for that. But like how they like set the trend. Like, we set a lot of trends regionally that somehow blow up locally all the time. So what was important for me, or when I recognized, I was like, these rappers, they rap about what's on their feet, what's on their legs, what's on their chains. They rap about that because rap, since the beginning of time, rap since about like the 90s, I'll say, but since about the 90s, it's been about flexing. It's been how hard can you flex, and that's a New York thing. That's a New York thing. They birthed it, and they brought that. That's every region can kind of take away from that. Like, there's one thing that's never died about hip hop, and that's flexing on somebody. And so that flex brings the trending and the fashions, and so now you look at, we have sneakers, we have clothing that we're about to launch, and so now how do we incorporate that? And that's where I'm like, all right, well, what if we gave local artists sneakers, or what if we gave them apparel? Let them sport that. Now we have social media in a way that they didn't have it in the 90s. Now you can be seen more. Now you can be like, see somebody like wear this. The big thing is, and what I think is, because with 734, we look at every local artist as an investment. Their success is our success. What happens when that next person blows and gets a deal or gets a viral? More than likely, the way that the industry is going, one of these cats are more likely to have a viral video than a record deal. So we kind of, just because of the culture and just because of how like a lot of people are working independent more than ever before, because you have access to the platforms like SoundCloud that you just really didn't have before, and distribution is just a lot easier. But what will happen is one day, and this is how we see it, all these people that we're investing in and giving either sneakers or apparel to, or they're shouting us out, they're going to go viral with our apparel, with our stuff on, and we are going to make that next step into the actual global hip-hop market. And that's where you're looking at like phase 3 of all this.
Okay, so being that, you know, we're on Cypher in the Cellar, this is hip-hop, give us some insight on who you guys grew up listening to.
You want to start with this one?
Oh, you can go ahead.
Oh, shoot. So you got to realize, I have a brother, he's 40. He went to Morehouse. So I grew up with a lot of stuff that he loved. So he put me on to, the first album I really remember listening to was Goody Mob. He went down because he went to, like I said, he went to Morehouse. He came back. It's the first time I ever heard CeeLo and them. He had the cassette. Master P was huge in Atlanta. Master P was huge. I heard the Ice Cream Man in 98. I heard, my brother had Ready to Die, but truth be told, I never listened to Ready to Die until the 2000s. I didn't consume that until I was a teenager. So I got a lot of stuff from him. My brother really loved, he loved John B. He loved Wu-Tang. He loved Goody Mob. So those were a lot of my early influences, because like what he would play in the car, 'cause I would be drive. He had this like '96 Camry and whatever the tape deck we had at the time. So I listened to a lot of Master P, because Master P, Goody Mob, Wu-Tang, stuff like that.
T.I. was my guy growing up. John actually later got me really into Young Jeezy. Really into him. Yeah, so I mean, that's southern, that's southern rap scene. I mean, that's kind of what I like.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback that. He's got a point there. I love the sound of music. So like, you don't necessarily, this might be unpopular to say here, you don't necessarily have to come to bars to get on my playlist, but you gotta know how to make a song. You gotta know how to either like flow, and it's got to have some sort of beat to it. It can't be like, I'm not saying like bars don't matter, that's not true, but there's
Bars do matter.
but definitely, I'm also not gonna sit here and like lie to you guys and say, man, I went through a hardcore phase of listening to a lot of Gucci Mane, a lot of Waka Flocka, a lot of stuff, because the biggest thing about me, a lot of people don't know, is we went to college together, so I'm a sociology minor, criminal justice major. I do a lot of this stuff that like a lot of these conscious rappers talk about. I do a lot of this reading, a lot of this stuff like on my own. So when I come to listen to rap, I look for escape. Like I like really, I like that booty club music. If I came up in the '90s, I'd probably listen to some Uncle Luke, Onyx, like just real gutter stuff. 3-6, like I like that type of music. Like, rap's an escape for me. Like I don't necessarily. There's no diss to like your Lord Jamar's or your Nas or anybody that talks conscious. No disrespect to them. It's just I don't get that. I don't consume rap in that way.
I get that.
I mean, it's like it's compared to like movies, like you know what I mean. Some people like different
like
type.
scary.
Yeah, you know what I mean. I like horror movies. That don't mean I'm gonna go out and kill 5 people. You know, it's an escape. It's something different. Yeah. You know what I mean.
So another question I got for you guys is, how do you see the shoe game, the culture in the shoe game? Right now, I see a lot of people going retro. I see a lot of the old like feelers coming back out. How you guys feel about that?
It like fashion, and it's just like in every sense of fashion. You can even look at the suit game. Just go like to a Men's Warehouse. It all comes back.
Yeah, it's all cyclical.
Right.
So like right now we're in a retro phase. Like, all right, we'll look back to 2000. We were in white tees. So it was baggy. We had a kickback with Air Forces. They kind of came back. What you'll kind of find in fashion, all types of fashion, with the exception to like Gucci, Louis, Prada, like those things, like which they're like out here making homeless people clothing. That's neither here nor there. What you'll find is that you'll have like a 10-year period where they'll try something new, and then people, like a lot of these consumers, they'll become adults. And then they'll retarget, remarket them, and that's something like you think about it. What's the feel? Yeah, you think about it. Somebody back in the '90s who's probably like 12, 13, whatever. Parents probably got them. They probably have a soft spot in their heart for it. Now they're like 35, 40, and you unload it, and then you keep it at that same price. See, here's where Jordan Brand messes up. A lot of people don't understand this. Even though people want to buy Jordans, there's a lot of Jordans, retro Jordans. I'm not talking about any old retro Jordans that are sitting on the shelves like ducks. Jordan Brand is overpricing their stuff. They're overpricing their stuff, and it's catching up to them right now. There's a retro 8, there's a retro 6, there's a retro. There's about 3 or 4 different retros. Oh yeah, there's a retro 3, the mochas that are sitting like ducks in retailers right now. And they're nice retros, like the South Beach is a nice retro, the Tinker 6 is a nice retro, the Mocha is a nice retro, and they're overpricing their products, and they're sitting.
That's cyclical. Just to add on to that, it's not just with the shoes. I mean, it's everything. We talked about the clothing line we're getting ready to launch. We spent a ton of time kind of hand picking everything out, and it's funny. We had a conversation about hats, and we were talking about how the snapback's kind of gone now, and people are going with the soft. Yeah. So when's the snapback come back? And you gotta look at what the next trend's going to be and get ahead of that.
Right. Yeah. And that leads to my next question. Tell us about some of the other stuff other than the sneakers. Tell us about some of the other articles of clothing that you guys are working on now.
Yeah, definitely. So we got the hoodie right here. We got the hat.
We actually, well, we launched fashion. We soft launched some fashion outside sourcing a few months back. We've got some Kobe clothing in there. We've got some Jordan clothing. Okay. But really, what we're getting ready to focus on is our brand now. Now that we've got that traffic, we talked about all the marketing around the world. Now it's time to put our name out there and start putting our stuff on. So in about 2 weeks, we're going to be launching a full-fledged clothing line on the website. Everywhere from men's hoodies, hats, t-shirts to women's outfits as well. Yeah. Going to be some great stuff to look at. Everything, by the way, is super high quality. We really wanted to, to keep a nicer quality of clothes. So we're excited about everything we put out there. Hand tested everything.
Yeah. So you want to tell the guys, tell the people your website and.
Yeah. So it's shop.734kicks.com. You can always go to www.734kicks.com. That'll still get you there. You're going to find us at Instagram, 734_kicks. Same for Twitter, 734_kicks. Our Facebook is 734kicks. There's no underscore for that.
YouTube, 734kicks.
So, and then, this is something, hold on one second, before we get too far. Artists, we work with a bunch of artists. We got a Spotify playlist. It's got 2,000 followers, 2,000 organic followers. Shout out to Corey. He just got about 1,000 streams last month. But Corey's my friend. Like, first things first, and I always tell Corey this, but I'm gonna come out here. I'm gonna plug him real quick. He was the first person I ever had like kind of rep the brand ever, and I was telling his wife at your white party actually 2 months ago. Shout out to Social Life. Where I was out there. I was like, yeah, Corey's my friend, but Corey can rap. Like, if Corey was whack, I wouldn't give him free sneakers. Or you can be my friend, but if you're not good at your craft, I'm not going. Corey is somebody that's really good with his craft, and he was my first brand ambassador. And the first pair of sneakers I ever gave him was a pair of Kobe's, the Kobe 10s, I think. And he put them in his one music video. I cannot remember the name of the music video. It's evading me at the time, but I think it was Billboard G's Dreams. I think it was, but anyways, that was like the first time it's kind of been like the guinea pig for all this. And like as far as like I got him a pair of kicks, and then I got his wife Jess a pair of kicks. So these guys are kind of actually low key of like really been like a lot of inspiration for what we're doing right now for the bigger culture. Shout out to you guys. You know who you are, doing your thing. I'm gonna plug the Spotify playlist. It's 734 space kicks. There's no dash or anything like that. We got almost 2,000 followers. We're at 1994. So let's get those 6 up there. Because right now on the list is the Cooligans, Choreo, Billboard. We got. Thank you. We got Savage, YB. We got a couple of cats on here. Oh, A-Side Mason. We got, we did have Paul Anthony on there, but he's Phantom of the Opera, that joint. We had that on there. Oh, yeah. We had just a bunch of people from Lancaster on the playlist. We had The Wolf on there, his shot caller joint with Choreo. So it's a bunch of people from the culture from around here. I had a couple people on there, a couple cats from Memphis, California, but right now the priority is for 717 East Coast rap and R&B. Oh, Naku, shout out, Naku's on there as well. Yeah. Give it to you, shout out to give it to you. So he's on there. He's important to be on that list just because of what he's doing. So, and actually trying to get him some sneakers. So hopefully he sees this. We're trying to work out with you too. So like I said, this thing is once this playlist blows up, and we get you guys the exposure that I think we can give you, then we're going to really, really have some treadway on how we can get and expand our brand ambassador program. And once these guys kind of can see how we can help them and get them exposure, we're going to have a bunch of mutually beneficial relationships. It's going to help turn Lancaster into a cultural hub for music. Ultimately, I want this to be the new Atlanta. And I'm not talking about like as far as art. I'm talking about as far as music. People coming to move here to create their albums. People coming here, the top acts, top talents, and just kind of adjusting this culture. And people like flooded, like people already flooded my DMs to get into this playlist. This playlist is already pushed. Wednesday's on the playlist from the Extra Ripple Effect. So again, like I said, check out the website too. We got songs of the week on there. We have feature artists. Shout out to our last feature artist, which is Billboard G. The next one's going to be Choreo for the month of April. Song of the week right now is Savage YB. Shout out to him. Off the Muscle. Last week's song of the week was Young Poppy Forever. So, like I said, we're just here to spotlight artists.
Yeah, they sign up for our email list. We send that out each week, who the kind of current artist of the week is, artist of the month, song of the week, whatever we're doing. We send that out to the subscribers so they get first access to it.
Well, that's great to me because first and foremost, I didn't know that you guys were this active with the hip hop scene in Lancaster, and to take shoes and segue into hip hop and keeping it local is tremendous to me. And I just applaud you guys for what you're doing right now, and I pray that you guys just keep going and keep getting to the next level.
We ain't gonna stop.
And I appreciate you guys coming on our platform and informing all our fans about what you guys got going on.
We appreciate you having us.
Yeah, we appreciate you inviting us out.
Any last minute shout outs before we get out of here?
Shout outs.
Oh, man, just
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
shout out to my kids, Elise and Devin. I love you guys. And listen, shout out to, this is important, shout out to Lancaster, Harrisburg, York, Reading. I'm going to say this to you guys. I don't care where y'all families are from or whatever. There's pride to this. There's pride here. There's people doing good work. There's good artists here. They're putting out proper production. Listen, it's cool that you got people from Philly, Baltimore, New York, cool. But you're from here now. You live in here now. We've got culture. We're starting to get in the first and second generations here. It's our time, and let's just represent and support, all right? Shout out to you guys.
Cypher in the Cellar, Season 2. Let's go.
Front line every time it's on, nigga. 100 pro flow. Run and shoot pro. 458 drop. Playing bulletproof soul. Every few shows, I just buy some new gold. Circle got smaller, everybody can't go. Downtown Diamond District, jewelers like yo. Hustle, holla at me, I got Cubans on the low. Through the Cancun, smoking Cubans on the boat.